Well, I'm Kirsten. I'm an alcoholic. And my sobriety date is January 18th, 2018. First of all, before I get started, I just want to thank Jason for asking me to speak. I actually, if you had asked me a year ago, I would have been, oh yeah, I'll speak. And I would have been puffed up and proud and look at me, I'm just, but, I was actually, kind of intimidated, throughout the course of this year. There's definitely been some attitude adjusting and going from puffed up or too small to the right size. So, I'm very humbled and very honored that I was asked to speak here. And so thank you for that. And my sponsor told me, because this is my first time, so you guys bear with me. She told me, the speaker meetings are not necessarily for the old timers. It's more for the newcomers. And I go to a newcomer meeting, and what we talk about in the newcomer meetings are the first 3 steps, what was like, what happened, and what it's like now. So I made some notes on that, and I'm going to try and go with that. So what it was like. What it was like before I ever took my first drop of alcohol was I was broken. I was ashamed. I was dead inside, I didn't come from, the Cleavers or the Brady Bunch or, all those happy, loving families that you see on sitcom television, We didn't have much. My dad was sick. My parents divorced. And then it was just my mom and us kids. And she did the absolute best she could. And her belief was that, we'd do all right if we went through Catholic school. So she worked 60 hours a week and pled with the diocese to keep us in Catholic school. Didn't leave much time for, this is how you balance the checkbook, or this is how you do this. I didn't know much of anything, and just kind of feeling my way around in the dark. Well, I could go back even further than that and say that kids are mean. My family always told me I was just this little spitfire, this ball of energy. I was always happy. I was always smiling, and I got to school, and I was smart, and I was fat, and I was different, and I was poor, and, not telling you this so you can go, oh, poor me, and words hurt. The teachers, sticks and stones will break your bones. I had a nun tell me that, you just kind of have to let it roll off your back. I'm 8 years old and I don't understand. What do you mean, roll off my back? So I started this tape playing in my head, and, I fought it, there was always listening to what other people said I was, versus who I really was on the inside, and so I say that because, yes, I'm an alcoholic and I will get to that, but I do have other issues that I'm dealing with, but, as I get through this, I'll explain how it's not like it was before, So, I started off that way, and then, so alcohol was, the answer to everything. Alcohol was the escape from the pain. Alcohol was the courage juice so I could feel like I could fit in. It was the answer to everything. I never got to the point where I had to drink every day and was shaking and went through the DTs. I was a binge drinker. And once I started, I didn't stop. So what happened? One night, I'm at home with my kids, and I have a 3-year-old, who at the time was 2. And 2-year-olds are boisterous and they're rambunctious. And, like I said, I was all these things. I was dead inside. I was just going through the motions. I was bitter. I was broken. I was tired. So I was like, I'm just going to have a glass of wine. You can have pot and pan band all you want to, and it's not going to bother me. The problem with that is I'm an alcoholic, and one glass of wine turned into way more than I could handle. And my mother-in-law, I called her, and she said she's on her way over. And from the time it took her to get from her house to mine, I passed out on the bathroom floor. She walked into the house. She hears the tub running. She can't see him anywhere. She walks through the house. My 12-year-old is sitting on the bed. She's playing computer games. She's playing Xbox. Where's Alan? I don't know. I thought Mom was giving him a bath. She walks in the bathroom. Passed out on the floor. Tub's running. No Alan. So, I can imagine, what's going on in her mind, the relief of, okay, he's not dead in the tub, but where is he? He could have drowned. Anything could have happened while I was passed out drunk, there's no blame here. This is just something that had to happen. Somebody, I don't know who, alerted DHS. And this was not our first go around with the system. And they said, that's it. You guys, we're taking them. So, of course, I thought, I'll save face. I know how to get the kids back. I'll go and I'll tell DHS, I'm going to AA. Here, look at all my signatures. I'm in recovery. I'm doing this thing. I'm doing what's right. I'm doing what's right. Just give me my kids back. That's not the way it worked. And to this day, I'm still without my children. We are in the process of getting them back. But today I'm okay with that. I understand that this time away has a purpose. And it hurts to know that I'm the reason why my children have to be separated from me. But it was necessary. It was necessary to get my head screwed on straight and get my priorities in line. So, that's what happened. As far as what it's like now, this is just the premise to the story, today I'm alive, and I'm grateful, and I have the ability to be present, and I am driven to chase after this thing that everybody in this room has shown me how to do, some people, say it's the fellowship. Some people say it's their higher power. To me, it's a combination of all those things, and there's so many acronyms: good orderly direction, grow or die. I could, I know that there's more, but they're just not coming to my head right now. Group of drunks, that's what it was. That's what, tie it to the fellowship. Gave me this, and what this is me. Who I forgot who that was. And it's me that says, today I'm going to get up and be the best me because I'm worth it. And I'm going to give you the best me because you're worth it. But it didn't just magically happen. I had to do the steps. And so, I'll just go through them. Step 1, of course, was the hardest, I think, for just about everybody. I know it was for me. I went through the whole gamut of denial, Oh, I pay all my bills. My kids have never gone hungry. They've never gone without heat, I'm a good mom, and I'm doing this thing. There's something missing with that, and is that I was not present for them. Spent a lot of years, just self-absorbed and wrapped up in myself, that I can see the damage that I was doing to them. So I went through a lot of denial, and so the 12 and 12 talks about it. Nobody wants to admit complete defeat, even though I had done it a million times before, I give up, I'm just going to lay down and die, literally, but to admit that, that I couldn't manage, it was hard. And of sorts, step 2 is came to believe that a power greater than ourselves could restore us to sanity. Well, I grew up 12 years of Catholic school. I knew that there was a God. I knew, but that would restore me to sanity. I don't deserve it. Look at all the pain and grief, and I don't deserve your help. So I'm not going to ask for your help. But I came in these rooms, and I watched people talk about, and I saw people, that had done things worse than me, hold their head up and look me in the eye and be okay with the mistakes that they made in their life. It's a foreign concept, I walked around with a lot of shame. So I got reacquainted through you guys to my higher power, to the order of the universe, to however you want to look at it, so maybe if the God of your understanding loves you for what you did, because, I didn't do anything like that, maybe you can love me too, so step 3 was, made a decision to turn my will and my life over the care of God as I understood Him. Well, I saw it. I had to see it. I'm a doubting Thomas, not to bring the Bible into it, but, if anybody knows what a doubting Thomas is, I had to have visual proof, touch it, see it, feel it, had to have some kind of evidence for me to say, okay, maybe I'll do this too. Maybe I'll do this too. And that's what I saw, and that's what I heard. Okay, I get up and I say, not your will, Freudian slip. not my will, but yours be done, I had to see people do that, and I had to see what happened when people did that. And then I decided, me too, that was a recurring theme when I was little. I'm going to bounce back and forth, so try and keep up, because that's the way my brain works. I was always a Me Too kid. I was the youngest of 3. My brother and sister were a lot older than me. So they were doing all kinds of fun stuff. And I was like, me too, me too. The funny story is they were going to catch me on the Me Too's, or they did catch me on the Me Too's. My mom says, I have a hole in my hiney. And my sister goes, me too. And my brother goes, me too. And I said, but, that's how I was. I was always me too, and so, that's part of it. That's part of being, to be able to identify, that's part of being able to humble myself, when I came in these rooms. Oh, I've got this. I understand how this program works. you know, I'm not nearly as bad as you are, you know, just, you know, how I'm different than everybody else, you know. And I started listening, and there was that me too. Okay, this is what you did. Me too. Me too. You know, step 4, made a fearly, you know what it is, it's on the wall, I can't say it. Tongue-tied, you know, and I don't know whether I think it's the 12 and 12, I really do. You know, or it may have been the big book, and I can't quote, you know, page and, you know, paragraph, you know, but it was talking about we got to take stock. Well, when we take stock not just of the bad items. We take stock of the things that we can use and the things that we can sell, you know. But of course, you know, I didn't want to do the 4th step because it was all about all the horrible and horrible things and mistakes and that I had made in my life. You know, I didn't want to look at that, you know, but I did it. And that's when, you know, going through with my sponsor, you know, we pointed out that there's salvageable goods in there. There's salvageable goods. There's things that we can use and we can turn around. You know, it wasn't so black and white. You know, I know it's the 12 and 12 that talks about our God-given instincts. You know, and they just get skewed. I was talking before the meeting to somebody. There's donuts back there, and I know one of my biggest character defects is gluttony. You know, if it feels good, I want more. If it tastes good, I want more. Whatever it is that makes me feel good, I want more. You know, so you know, but it's hey. I am a glutton for this program. I am a glutton for you know, the miracles that I see happen in these rooms. I'm a glutton, you know, I'm a glutton for recovery. You know, I think that's proper use of my instinct. You know, and then, but you know, that, you know, I'm already talking about step 5 because it's talking about going through it with somebody else where, you know, they said, hey, there's salvageable goods in here. We can use this. We can work with this. Let's build from here. Let's look at this a different way. Let's turn it around. You know, step 6. You know, was entirely ready to have God remove all these defects of character. Well, the first time I did it, you know, it says we're supposed to go to that quiet spot and go over that time and make sure that we didn't leave anything out, you know, right? And the first time I did it, I was like, I don't know if I left anything out. But if I did, you can have it too. You know, I don't know what it is. You know what it is. You know, take everything that's bad. You know, you can have it. You know, so yeah, the first time, you know, step 6 and 7 were easy. You know, the program always says more will be revealed. So haven't done these steps just one time. You know, and then it's 10 months this time. You know, I don't know how much sobriety I have if you add it up together. You know, but this time with step 7, you know, humbly asked him to remove our shortcomings. Some of those are kind of still working out for me. I don't know if I'm ready to let go of them. You know, I don't know if I'm ready to let go of my kids. You know, that's something that's big. You know, I'm the mama. You know, but I can't control their decisions. You know, I can say no, I don't want you to do this, but ultimately it's their choice whether they do it or not. You know. But I'm still in that, how can I manipulate this situation so that you do what I want you to do? And that's not just my kids, that's other people in my life. And that limits their growth. That limits their opportunity to learn and to grow. So I've got to let go of those things. Yeah, it's nice that my kids do what I tell them to do. Yeah, it's nice when that works out. But maybe that's not, maybe I'm giving bad advice. That's one of the things. Get a sponsor. I couldn't do life without these meetings and a sponsor. But this program gave me a life. So now I can't hide in the rooms anymore. Now that I got it, I got to go out and live it. But anyway, step 7. I'm working through, not always ready to let go of everything that I need to let go of. Step 8, made a list of all persons we had harmed and became willing to make amends to them all. That word, willing. Some people were easy. Some people I could clearly see, you deserve an apology. You deserve some amends. Some people I was not so willing. And, this program and coming in these meetings and listening and my higher power, shining light in places, it's like, let me show you why you should be willing to make amends to this person. It's not so much, amends to them. Yeah, that's part of it, but it's so that I can let go of some of the things, I don't know how to say it, but nobody, I don't know how many people like to apologize, but I don't particularly like to apologize. So, that willingness to make amends. And then step 9 is made direct amends to such people wherever possible. That's when he shines light on it, and like I said, the first time through these steps, some of them were easier than others. This time through the steps, I am willing and ready. And a lot of my amends now, because, if you do them more than once, you make those easy amends, and then more will be revealed. More will always be revealed. The work is never done. You've got to walk this thing, and I'm jumping around, but step 12 says practice these principles in all our affairs. So I've got to walk this thing out. I've got to have some integrity. I have to do what I say I'm going to do and be where I say I'm going to be and not make an excuse. Oh, I'm too tired. If I make the commitment, I need to honor the commitment. So, it's way more than, for me, that surface I'm sorry, because that's one of my resentments, bouncing around here is, I tell my kids all the time. Well, I used to tell my kids all the time. I don't know if I'm going to say this anymore. If you break my leg and you tell me you're sorry, I'm sorry doesn't fix my broken leg. It's exactly what I did to them. And I damaged and hurt them, and I'm sorry is not going to fix their hearts. So I've got to walk it out every day and show them that I'm trying to be better for me so that I can be better for them. And they all tie in together. Everything blends into one another. And then step 10 is continue to take personal inventory, and when we were wrong, promptly admitted it. Yeah, I have a hard time apologizing to certain people, you know, and those same certain people are the ones that I repeatedly need to apologize to because, you know, I don't got this thing right, you know. So, you know, when I don't get it right, I need to say, okay, I didn't do that right. It's not my favorite thing to do, but I do it. And it's not always the best, you know, but I do it. You know, step 11 says, sought through prayer and meditation to improve our conscious contact with God as we understood Him, praying only for knowledge of His will for us and the power to carry that out. You know, this whole thing is it's not about me anymore. It's not about me anymore. You know, so the big book talks about God consciousness, you know. If God's not your thing and you're, you know, just a spiritualist, you know, some people say I'm woke. You know, I don't know if anybody's ever heard that expression before, but you know, I can relate. I can dig that. You know, I've been asleep. I've been living my life asleep, and now I'm woke. You know, I'm aware. You know, one of the speakers, you know, wrote a book called A New Pair of Glasses. Well, I have a new prescription. I have to wear that prescription every day if I want to see the world the way that it's supposed to be. You know, otherwise, if I don't put those glasses on, then yeah, it's easy to get offended. It's easy to get bitter. It's easy to get resentful, you know. So that's why, you know, because I'm a big, like a perpetual 4-year-old. Why? Why do I have to pray every day? Why? Why do I have to make amends? Why? You know, that's the why. Because if I don't, then I'm going to be right back where I was before. Broken and hurt and ashamed and tired. Me and a bicycle. We were both too tired. You know. And then step 12, you know, having had a spiritual awakening. Yeah, I'm woke. That's spiritual awakening, you know. Having a God consciousness, you know, being able to see you the way God sees you, or the way I think my God sees you, you know, because everybody's God is different, you know, but mine is, you know, the one, you know, bathroom in my home group has the love is patient, love is kind, love is, that's my God to me, you know. He is all those things. He's patient, he's kind, and he endures all things because of all the terrible and horrible things that I've done. He still picks me up and says, you're my kid, and I love you. I don't know why, but he does, and I'm grateful. I am grateful. So, you know, knowing that, you know, now I've got to do something about it. You know, I've got to carry this message, and I've got to practice these principles. It says practice. It doesn't say perfect, you know, and I'm still practicing, and I'm still pretty new at this. But I want it. I want it more than anything, you know. And so I'm here. And to the newcomer, you know, go to lots of meetings and try and find common ground, you know. Don't try and be special, you know. Try and find how, you know, how the one person that you would be scared to talk to in the room might feel something exactly like you. Try and make connections. You know, that's the first part of the triangle is unity, you know. Be connected, you know, plug in. I hear so many different things in the rooms and I love them all, you know. I hear, you know, get in the middle of the pack. You know, if you're on the outside, you're going to get picked off. But if you're in the middle of this thing, then you might be safe. You might be able to stay sober. But if you're on the outside, you're going to get picked off. Stay in the middle. You know, service. You know, because I have this new God consciousness. Because I'm woke. You know, whatever, you know, your words are for this thing that you got. You know, we don't get to, you know, you gotta give it away to keep it. And I've got, right now, you know, right now, I'm in abundance. You know, I may not always be in abundance, but right now, I'm overflowing here. So this is more than I can handle. Take some of this from me. Take some of this joy and exuberance or whatever it is that's just bouncing off of me today. You can have some. Here, some for you and some for you. You know, you can have it. That might not always be the case, but, you know, I still have a responsibility, you know, because of what I've got right now. I want to keep giving it away. It's like a cycle. I don't know, like the cycle of our addiction, you know, and our alcoholism. You know, our shame made us drink more, and then, you know, it's a different cycle today. It's a different cycle. It's just a cycle, but it's a different cycle. You know, I get some nugget in some meeting and I get excited about it. And I want to call my sponsor and say, guess what I heard in a meeting? Or, you know, I pick up the phone and I call another friend in this program and I heard something in a meeting or I read something in the big book. And I says, well, you know, this is what I heard, you know, and we connect. We connect. And recovery, you know, I want that. I want that. So I'm going to stick around. And I think I'm done. I think that's all I got.